I think today we need to have a conversation around the big six and genuinely what is the big six, you know what I mean? Obviously it's like Liverpool, Chelsea, Man U, Man City, Arsenal and Tottenham, right? That's the big six. We're gonna go through this video, right? And I'll explain to you and show you guys that the big six, you know, it's a bit of a farce, it's a bit of a media headline that kind of gets thrown around, but like genuinely most of the time, you know, there's a lot of teams creeping into that, you know, especially recently as well. The last few seasons, as you would have seen, there's other teams starting to creep into this, you know, big six or top six finish at least more consistently as well than other teams. Now this is crazy because for this video, I have done some research. All right, a new year, new me. 2025 SamTapTap is crazy, bro, I tell you. But that's genuine, right? I've done some research for this video. And actually the big six, like quote, the headline, that's the tagline for the big six, actually started around 09-10. All right, so 2010, the big six quote became a thing because they added Tottenham and Man City into it. It also used to be the top four back in the day, the big four. But yeah, because of obviously the success of Man City, and obviously Tottenham, for whatever reason they felt bad leaving them out, they added them into the big six conversation. So ever since that big six headline and tagline was created, I've looked at every single season table finish since then. So it's like 15 seasons, I believe. And added up each time, one of those big six clubs finished outside of the top six. And there's a few, and there's one outlier. All right, I did say this on stream the other day, but I'll give you guys a quick chance to mentally think of a team of the big six that have finished outside the top six of the Premier League table the most times. Now I'll start to show you all the league tables from now on, so we can keep talking for a minute while you guys check out that. Pause it if you wish and all that good stuff. Check out who is finished where. I basically show the whole big six and where they finished. If they finished a bit below top six, which sometimes they do, like Chelsea I think finished 12th one year, so I've got the top 12 for example. But you'll see what I mean as I go through it. But yeah, all of this conversation is basically because there's a lot of teams nowadays that are starting to creep into that big six, top six kind of scenario more often than some of these big six clubs, you know what I mean? There is a trend of these like mid-table teams kind of like rising up, becoming like proper good teams that are able to beat anyone on their day. And obviously the likes of like Newcastle, yeah, Aston Villa, Brighton for example as well. Even like recently with Bournemouth this season are crazy, Nottingham Forest of course, hard to leave them out. But yeah, there's a lot of teams that are like starting to like bridge that gap from like, you know, sitting in mid-table, happy being 10th every year, to actually pushing on and going a bit further. I think a lot of it is down to really smart recruitment. Obviously the players they sign are just absolute ballers. I mean, in Brighton's case specifically as well, look at the players they sign and then offload for like, you know, 20,000 times the price. Obviously look at Caicedo, for, you know, as a prime example there. Signed him for a few million, sold him for 150. You know, it's just like, it's mad. The absolute turnover they get, it must be crazy. But the players they sign, where do they find him? How would you go over to Ecuador and find Caicedo, then bring him back and turn him into one of the, you know, best midfielders in the league? It's mad, absolutely mad. So this is the reason why these teams are starting to bridge that gap. In other cases, it's good management. I mean, look at Newcastle with Eddie Howe, obviously specifically Aston Villa with Unai Emery. I mean, I think Unai Emery probably is maybe second or third best manager in the league. The guy is insane. And to have him at Aston Villa is a big reason why they're in Champions League football, beating Bayern Munich at home and all this kind of stuff is crazy. They're a proper team when they're on at Aston Villa. And they've definitely bridged that gap. They're definitely in the conversation for top six, if not the big six, you know. I mean, if they keep performing consistently as they have been, and actually keep continuing to be in Champions League, that big six tagline, headline, whatever you want to call it, I think it should be abolished. You know what I mean? There's no real big six anymore because these other clubs, these Newcastles, Villas, Brightons, even like West Ham, they won the European Cup a few seasons ago. You know, they're starting to be more consistent than the likes of maybe like Chelsea recently, Manchester United right now, Tottenham right now, you know what I mean? Remember a few minutes ago when I actually to mentally think of a team that had finished outside the top six of the big six the most times. I'll go through it now real quick before we go and continue, but there's only one team that hasn't actually finished outside the top six that's in the big six, and it is Man City, which is quite boring and predictable, I know, but yeah, they're consistent, they're always in the top six, it is what it is. But anyway, Arsenal have finished outside of the top six 2 times, Chelsea 2 times, Liverpool 4. All right, 4 times, which is the most out of anyone, which is crazy. So if anyone gets Liverpool that have finished outside the top 6 the most times, well played. GG, good job. Manchester United have finished outside of the top 6 twice, and Tottenham also twice, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U, Tottenham have finished outside of the top 6 in the past 15 seasons. Twice. I know, it's crazy. Honestly, like I said, all the screenshots of the league tables are there. You can see them. Pause it, check it out. I know, I couldn't believe it either. But Liverpool 4 times, kind of mad. But that isn't to say like Liverpool are not worthy of a big 6th place, because they're probably the 2nd biggest club in the country behind Manchester United. So yeah, they're clearly a big 6 team. I'm not trying to dispute that at all. But I'm just saying, it's like this big 6, like whatever it's called, the tagline, I think we should abolish it. I don't like it very much. And it feels like there won't ever be a club that will be allowed to like get into like the big 6 or make it a big 7 or a big 8. And there's no point. If it gets to that number, I may as well just have big league, you know what I mean? Which is also a reason why I kind of good roll into here. The Super League, all right? The big league, the Super League, it's a reason for this big 6 to escape, because obviously that's how it all started, right? It's the idea that these mid-table teams could like take away, you know, Champions League spots from these big 6, and there's jeopardy behind finishing in the top 4, top 6, because these mid-table teams, these Aston Villas, these Newcastles and Brightons and all that, they can finish higher than these Tottenhams and Chelsea and Manchester United and all that, you know. So yeah, that's how it sparked the whole like Super League debate. But we all know that it's not like anything new here, but yeah, it's criminal, really, absolutely criminal. Now, I'm not gonna go on a whole like I'm against Super League tangent and all this kind of stuff, because we've all been through that years already. So it's pointless. Obviously, I'm against it. There's no denying that. But yeah, I'm not gonna go on it too much because we've been through that before. You know what's crazy, right? As recording this video here, Brighton have just drawn to Arsenal 1-0. So yeah, GG Brighton. Let's go, man. Again, mid-table teams, you know, doing competitive business against the big 6. They're there, man. They're truly there. At the end of the day, right, you get what you deserve, and you have to earn it and work for it. And I've seen Chelsea, as a Chelsea fan I am, I've seen us finish, you know, 1st place, winning the league, winning Champions League, and crazy, you know, nights in Porto and Munich and all that, and at Wembley, of course, as well, and enjoy every minute of it. And I've also seen us finish 10th, and I've seen us finish 12th. So, yeah, it's crazy. But we deserve it every time. Every single season, every single high, every single low has been deserved thoroughly. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how it should be, right? So if these mid-table teams start to creep ahead of Chelsea and start pushing us out of the big 6 or whatever, then they deserve it. They've worked harder. They've done better on the football pitch, training pitch, whatever, hired better, recruited better, all this kind of stuff. They're just a better club, so they deserve to be higher. So at the end of this video, I just want to quickly ask you, is the big 6 like tagline, is it hold much weight anymore? Is it really like that solid? I don't believe it is, in my opinion. And how do you even quantify big 6? Is it who finishes in top 6 the most? Is it who has the biggest stadium, who has the biggest fan base, the most money spent, the best players, you know what I mean, blah blah blah, most trophies? You could do it in many ways, you know, big 6. So I don't believe it should be in a tagline. I don't really like it, to be honest, the big 6. It feels like elitist and just segregating the rest of the league behind us, you know what I mean? We're the big 6 and there's the rest, you know what I mean? I don't really like that. And there's obviously that crazy season when Leicester won the Premier League, and I was thinking we would never see anything like it ever again. But at the rate we're going, looking at Forest and all this kind of stuff, one season we might see it soon. I don't know. If Brighton can get their act together, if Newcastle can really start spending some money, and if, you know, Forest do a miracle this season, who knows? I don't think they will, but I would love it if they did. Maybe there's a world in which we can actually experience the underdog winning a trophy and a title once again. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, my dudes. Thank you all for watching. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new. I appreciate you watching, man. Let me know in your comments down below as well. Do you agree with me? Is the big 6 tagline, is it not hold any weight anymore? Is it pointless? Is it a waste of time? Or do you agree with it? Do you like it? Do you think, you know what, it's big 6 stuff, it's good, it distinguishes the biggest teams in the league, and the rest should try and improve and elevate their games to match it or improve better than it? Let me know. Let me know what you think. But yeah, take it easy, have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video when we talk about some football in a bit.